Rotimi Oyekomi, who is the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman. He joins us virtually in Abuja. Thank you so much, Rotimi, for joining us tonight on the program. INEC Chairman, he joins us virtually in Abuja. Thank you so much, Rotimi, for joining us. All right, I can see you, Rotimi. I don't know if you can hear me and hear me clearly, but let's begin the conversation. How ready is INEC for Saturday? I see that the chairman has been moving around with his top officials, but I guess he's back in Abuja now. If that is the case, what is the state of preparation as of now?
As of now, we are exactly where we would like to be. All materials are on ground in the 3 states. We are deploying over 46,000 staff that have been trained, both regular and ad hoc, and all our staff are on ground for the conduct of the elections. The materials have been delivered, both non-sensitive and sensitive. And of course, we are going to be deploying technology. All the beavers machines are there to be deployed at the appropriate time. We have consulted widely with stakeholders. We have met with political parties. We have met with security agencies. We have discussed with various stakeholders. Today, the peace accord was signed in 3 states. Yesterday, we had the stakeholders meeting. And even though there are worries being expressed here and there, I think basically for the election, we are ready. And bearing any unforeseen circumstances, on Saturday, we will roll out our men and materials, and we'll be at the polling unit for 8:30 when people will come out, registered voters will come out in the 3 states to exercise their franchise.
So you announced delimitation. That is what INEC sometimes do, delimitation of polling units. That means you re-identify new, old ones, and you recalibrate them. So there are those who ask question, why is it coming so close to the election? Some people might have problem identifying their polling unit. Why did you release the delimitation details at this time?
No, Sheil, there is no confusion about this whole thing. Before every election, we release information booklet, the full details of the election. We release the polling unit figures. We release the total number of registered voters. We release the total number of permanent voters cards collected. And in the case of these 3 off-season governorship elections, 38 polling units in Imo State will not be having any election because there are no registered voters attached to them. So we are not deploying either men or materials to these 38 polling units. In the same vein, in Bayelsa State, there are 2 polling units where voting will not take place. We are not going to deploy men and materials to these 2 polling units. So it's a way of providing information generally to all stakeholders so that when you get hold of the document we have released, at a glance, you can see statistics like local government areas, the wards, the registration wards, number of polling units, number of registered voters, and so on. So there is no rearrangement as such. It's just providing existing information that we have always done.
So, but give us an understanding about the so-called troubled areas or hotbeds within and around some of these states. Is INEC fully, is security foolproof in this area? And what are the security agencies telling you? Is there any worry as to which area you might not be able to deploy to, or which areas are troubled areas that INEC is worried about deployment?
Look, Sheil, when we met with political leaders during our stakeholders meeting some weeks ago, some of them expressed concern about the security situation in the states. Some of them complained about being attacked, that their billboards are being pulled down, and some of them complained of physical attacks. And we promised them that when we meet with the security agencies, we will convey their concerns. Of course, we had a meeting with the security agencies at the office of the National Security Advisor. The INEC chairman led a team from INEC to that meeting. And the chairman did not mince words in addressing the security chiefs that they need to take decisive action against anybody, no matter how highly placed, that foments trouble or attempts to derail the process. And we got assurances. The NSA was, all out and assured us that there will be no violence, that they will deploy enough men, and they will secure the environment for us. The Inspector General of Police also said the same thing, because the police is the lead agency for providing security during elections. And the IGP assured us that enough men will be deployed to the 3 states, and that in conjunction with INEC, they have identified some of the risky areas, and they are going to deploy men to make sure that nothing happens. And we don't have any reason to doubt the security agencies. We have collaborated with them. In fact, all our elections, they have made it possible for us to conduct this election because of the cooperation and their services that we have enjoyed. And we don't think that we have any reason to second guess them for these 3 offices in governorship elections happening on Saturday.
So there are some times ago that some permanent voter cards were destroyed in Imo State, and also there were some times ago that some of your facilities were also destroyed in some of these states. Has INEC fully recovered all of these destroyed infrastructures and materials?
Yeah, I know you are referring to some of the attacks on our facilities. We have recovered. All the PVCs destroyed have been reprinted. And of course, we have put all facilities back in shape. So I don't think we have any problem as far as that is concerned. So we are ready for the election.
There are those who are worried, though, about Imo State. And perhaps let me allow you to listen to these. This is coming from the People's Democratic Party in respect of the resident electoral commissioner in the state. Take a listen to what the PDPs say. I'd like to get your reactions to that.
The party that Professor Agu's vision, and why she's insisting on staying back and not recusing herself up to the moment, is to compromise and manipulate the election of November 11, 2023 governorship election in Imo State in favor of the APC. And we're not just making this up. Her record speaks to that. There are several statements in the public domain, challenges, petitions have been written with regard to our activities.
How do you react to this?
Well, Sheung, the commission takes its responsibilities very seriously, and we don't joke with the conduct of elections. And when there are complaints against our officers, we also don't joke with complaints. But you see, you must provide the evidence to show that our officers are culpable. Look, you recall that the commission took decisive actions against 3 resident electoral commissioners recently. In Adamawa State, we moved against the reg when he stepped out of line. In Sokoto State, the same thing. In Abia State, the same thing. And so far as we are concerned, we haven't seen anything to, implicate the resident electoral commissioner for Imo State. We know that normally when we get close to elections, there are usually complaints here and there, which is based purely on suspicion. We are really very suspicious people in Nigeria, and politics is full of suspicion sometimes. But the assurance we are giving to all political parties is that, we are not going to allow any, pandering towards any interest for this election. Our interest is to conduct free, fair, and credible election. And let me also say this. For the elections, we are deploying 9 resident electoral commissioners to each of the states, and also 2 national commissioners. that will assist the sitting resident electoral commissioner there. So it's serious business for us. And I don't think that there's any need for anybody to worry.
So, Rotimi, it's clear that the INEC REC in Imo State will stay and conduct the election in Imo State despite the controversies surrounding his activities and his person as being the REC and the leader of that commission in the state, isn't it?
Well, yes, the REC will conduct the election. We don't have any reason to remove her from there. And we don't have any evidence that implicates her or prove whatever allegations that have been alleged at this time.
But why is Imo State such a hot potato for INEC? For example, look at it. They will allow you to watch this. It seems to be some kind of commotion which happened at the stakeholders meeting. Let me, my producer should just play that up on a full screen. These are members of the PDP and Labour Party who are agitated about the stakeholders meeting. I'm sure you are aware of this, Rotimi. How is INEC treating this particular matter, where some members of the political party are saying that there is a tendency that appears to show some partisanship or bias or some kind of underhand dealings by the commission? How is the commission able to clarify or clear the air about these issues?
Thank you very much, Sheo. Interestingly, almost all stakeholders meeting that we have before governorship election we always witness incidents like this. People become agitated based on suspicion. Like I said, this lack of trust and suspicion is very rife, especially among politicians. And when we have such meetings, what we normally do is to clarify issues. So what happened in Imo is not new. It's a misunderstanding of what is going on. And of course, at the end of the day, clarifications were provided and the meeting went on as planned. So it's nothing really special. When people misunderstand things, when they make allegations, it is the responsibility of INEC to explain to them. And once explanation is given, tempers cool down and
why was it though that INEC wanted the cameras to be shut out and journalists not being allowed to cover that conversation? I mean, why? Is there any reason being given? Because the impression that they had was as though INEC has something to hide, and that was why they did not want the journalists and cameras to be present in the room.
No, I think it's a misunderstanding. You know, normally when we meet with stakeholders in Abuja, we have what you call opening ceremony, where if we are meeting with political parties, for instance, we will have the opening ceremony where the INEC chairman will give a speech, the chairman of IPAC will give a speech, and then the media will be excused so that we can discuss technical things. But of course, this stakeholder before the governorship election is totally different. So I think there was some misunderstanding, and the politicians, I think, misconstrued what the National Commissioner said. But like I said, issues were explained, were resolved, and the meeting went on as scheduled.
I mean, Imo State seems to be under the spotlight, especially for a lot of people, and perhaps one reason that INEC will be expected to be above board in this particular situation. But give us an understanding. How worried are you with this phenomenon of the unknown gunmen, the issues of IPOP, the sit at home, and some of those narratives that are being a major talking point and grabbing the headlines over the past months in Imo State? But this is happening, and the elections are there also, and you cannot remove these factors away from the lives of the people, because election equally is a sociological science, which of course the people, their lives and their culture is part and parcel of this kind of event. So how are you dealing with that complication?
Well, Sheil, let me take you back to the last governorship election in Anambra State. Recall that before that election, many people had predicted that there will be bloodshed, that we will not be able to conduct the election, that we are wasting our time. And what did we do? We, of course, liaised with security agencies as usual, and then we liaised also with critical stakeholders in Anambra State, the good men and women of goodwill. And we secured their buy-in. We secured the cooperation of the security agencies. And we conducted the election in Anambra. There were a few incidences, but we were able to take care of it. That was then. And in the same vein, I also believe with the effort that we have put in, because we have done a lot of underground work, we have consulted men and women of goodwill in Imo State, we have appealed to them, and we have used several back channels to ensure that our election is not disrupted. And of course, we have also been in constant touch with security agencies to map out strategies on how to meet whatever challenge that will occur on Saturday in the port. So we are confident. Like I said, we don't have any reason to second guess our security agencies. They are experts, they know how to secure the country, they have the experience, they've been doing this for ages. And without them, we can't conduct the election. But more importantly, with the cooperation of all major stakeholders in Imo State, I think we will be able to sail through on Saturday.
So, I mean, I hope one doesn't sound like a crack record right now, but then it's worthy to ask again whether there is anything that has changed, because in the last election, the fear about whether IREV is going to work or not. Can you confirm to us again, Rotimi, the IREV is foolproof now and is going to work 100%? Can we get that confirmation?
I would have been surprised if you didn't ask about IREV. But let me assure you that in mid-October, we conducted mock accreditation. And we tested the functionality of the PVCs and IREV. And the overall result was positive. But let me also say this, because, you know, I think some Nigerians have this erroneous belief about the functions of IREV. IREV is not an electronic collating device. All it does is to receive polling unit results from the polling units as uploaded by the presiding officer using the PVCs, and just display it to anybody that clicks on a particular Form EC8A in any local government, in any state, according to what the person that is navigating wants to see. It's like a PDF format of the result sheet that is uploaded to that place. It doesn't do any other thing. If you just imagine the notice board in your office, which is permanently there, and when people want to, you know, people to know about things, they will just go and put the pin there. The other use a pin to stamp it there. And again, it's like the scoreboard in a national stadium or in a stadium where when the goal is scored, is displayed on the board. So it doesn't do any other thing. The scoreboard cannot manufacture goal. That's what it does. So, and we have assured Nigerians that after the close of poll, when votes have been counted and figures entered into Form EC8, the presiding officer will snap a picture of that result and then upload to IREV real time. And when Nigerians now log into it, those who have the protocols, the username and the password, log into the IREV, and they navigate to any of the local governments in any of the states, they go to the polling unit, they can then see the results. So they can self-collate. We are assuring that that will be done.
All right.
And the IREV...
Rotimi, just what I wanted is a commitment. Will it work or not?
No, it will work.
Okay, that's right. That's the confidence. That's all I want. On the final note, Rotimi, my question to you will be: is there any kind of addition to the electoral process that we are not aware of after the 2023 elections that will be added or that will be included into the November 11 elections. Is there anything innovation that you are adding to this exercise, other than that, those that we knew or know of in the 2023 election?
Well, not really, but I can only add that we have improved on the IRED. For instance, when the presiding officer takes a picture of the polling unit results, the IRED is now equipped with some protocols to identify certain security features. You remember during the general election, there were stories and allegations about some people uploading their pictures, and maybe those who weren't properly trained or who didn't listen well when they were receiving the training on how to use the beavers, they uploaded, they were not supposed to upload. So the security features will be determined and be identified by the IRED. If the IRED does not find those security features, it will not accept the Form EC8A. So the intention is that the INEC will only accept our Form EC8A on election day and nothing more than that.
All right. Thank you so much. Rotimi Oyekomi is the Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman. Thank you so much indeed. We will still get to reach out to you should we need some more clarification from INEC. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you for having me.